What does it tell you that on Fox they're either leveling with their audience or trying to reach their possible client, Donald Trump?
They tell you they've been hit in the mouth. And we live in a different world today than we did 24 days ago. And that's pretty clear. And they're still trying to find their sea legs out there. And when you get down to the fact that the Speaker of the House, who's from Benton, Louisiana, has to tell the other House Republicans to calm the racial stuff down, you know there's trouble out there in the rest of the country.
Yeah, it's a low bar, yeah.
When the guy from Benton is a racial liberal in the caucus.
Yeah, I mean, and look, here's New York Times coming at it a different way. They do their reporting. They talk to a lot of sources, the people around Trump, basically saying he is disoriented, he is flailing, he is blindsided, he's angry and in a foul mood because at an emotional level, James, he's not someone who's known for hiding his emotions or knowing how to calm down, cool down, or pivot. And he's angry because he sees potentially a close race or even him slipping behind her.
You know, I hate to make predictions, but I will say this right now. There's a better chance that Harris wins by 5 than Trump wins by 1.5.
Wow. Say it again,
but
sir.
Now remember,
first, it's television.
I'll repeat that.
Repeat it.
Let me repeat that. A better chance that Harris wins by 5 than Trump wins by 1.5. But remember, the quants tell me that the Wassermans and the Nate Cohens of the world say the Democrats have to win the popular vote by 2.5 to 3
million. Yeah.
So that's not that comes with a caveat. I'm not saying that she's going to win by 5 or he's going to win by 1.5, but I think that's the range that we're in right now.
I got to say it, and don't get mad at me, okay? I just do what I do. You sound almost giddy.
Well, again, if you win by 2, you don't win.
Right. Popular,
I'm being realistic, but, you know, sometimes, and I detest to make election predictions, and I think it's still tough, hard fought, but I could see him winning by a little bit. But if somebody's going to win this by more than a little bit, it'll be the Democrats. It's just that's evident right now. Well, and I understand. I'm not predicting.
No, I understand you're not predicting. I know you, and I know a little bit about this space from trying to listen to people, so I think people will be interested to hear that's where you're at now, 3 weeks in. And what I think you're alluding to is some races are blowouts, some races are knife fights to the end, some races have more fluidity and give. The idea that if they continue to do the right things and ride this momentum, that the give then turns several states on the Harris side. Whereas there's not a world, I haven't seen the numbers, where Donald Trump's likely to have a huge blowout. If he achieved what he did in 2016, we know what that looks like. It's eking out wins in a couple states and not necessarily winning over more voters nationwide.
Remember, he got 46 in 16 and 47 in 20.
Yep.
All right. He has never, the Republicans have literally not won an election since 2018. And I was listening to the previous discussion, and remember one thing that clarifies things. There's a referendum on the ballot in Florida this November about abortion.
Yep.
Trump, we can just ask Trump how he's going to vote on it. He was shucking and jiving. He was asked about it before, just to be clear. This is very simple. You're a resident of Florida. It's your choice. Fine. A lot of fine people live in Florida. Good people there. How are you going to vote on November the 5th? There's a ballot. Six-week ban or no 6-week ban?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. And it sounds like you think
you can't be any simple than that.
Yeah, you think it's an important question.
You got to pull the trigger one way or the other.
Yeah. Now, I've been waiting to get you back on and when we had a moment to chat, because people might say, well, we always chat. But when I first had you on about 10 days ago, everything was going so fast. We were just dealing with the fire hose. Kamala Harris came out at one point, gave remarks. We were covering it live, rolling news, that type of thing. Now I at least take a breath. It's August. You're in your sweatpants. I'm in my tan suit, which means we're both in our own version of relaxed. We put together a little bit of the history, James, because I'm going to pay you a certain type of compliment.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
One of the things people in politics like about you is what they don't like about you. They don't like in the moment when you are difficult and that's how they would put it, when you are not on the team, when you are stubborn, when you keep bringing back up problems. They don't like it. And then later, they actually like it because they say, well, of course James wants the Democrats to win. That's what you've devoted a lot of your life to, these issues, freedom, civil rights, the Democratic policies over the years. So when you're bringing it up, it must be because they don't like it, but you need them to know about it. And you did, over time, on this and in other forums, talk about whether the Democrats should take a second look, should deal with what voters were saying about age, whether it was fair or not. Meaning, I don't know you to be ageist. I know you to be a pretty smart 81-year-old now, 80, 81?
Soon to be 80.
Soon to be 79 to 80. I remember we were talking about your 80.
In October, it's coming quick.
Okay, 80 in October. So not from a perspective of ageism. So we have some of what you said, and some of what happened, and some of Speaker Pelosi and all that. And I want to talk about it on the other side. Take a look.
Do doubts remain about the president's age? Yeah.
Two presidents met on the debate stage.
It's kind of a DEFCON 1 moment.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. Time is running short.
James Carville wrote in the New York Times, "Mark my words," Carville said, "Joe Biden is going to be out of the 2024 presidential race."
36 congressional Democrats have now called for President Biden to step aside.
I never called one person. I kept true to my word. Any conversation I had with it was just going to be with him. I never made one call.
We have breaking news here. President Biden has announced he will stand down from the race.
Endorsed his vice president, Kamala Harris.
A number of my Democratic colleagues in the House and Senate thought that I was going to hurt them in the races. And I was concerned if I stayed in the race, that would be the topic. You'd be interviewing me about why did Nancy Pelosi say, why did someone... And I thought it'd be a real distraction.
James, did you privately or publicly help push the president to make this decision? And now that we've had time, do you think this was the best thing for the Democratic Party in the country?
The second question, yes, I do. Demonstratively. I hadn't had not one person come up to me and say, gee, I wish that it would have turned out differently. I didn't like doing it because I became the person I've always hated. The guy on the sideline sitting on TV, taking cheap shots. We in the arena, we got the dust, the dirt, we're fighting every day. You're killing us, you're helping Trump. And I understand all that. And nothing that happened to this or any criticism that I got was I surprised about. But, you know, I had the advantage of A, being old myself and getting older, and B, knowing a little bit about what the job entails. Not a lot, but I had a distant idea of what it entails. And C, thanks to people like you and other people, I had a platform. And I just didn't think I could stay silent. I just did. I didn't like it. I loved attacking Ken Starr. I didn't never mind attacking identity politics because I think it's counterproductive. I like Joe Biden. I didn't like myself, but I didn't think I had another option. I just didn't. I didn't see another way out.